The traffic there kinda sucks. Is less a part of the OKC metro. Might be a little too small town vibey for me personally. Thinking of moving to Oklahoma City and you wanna know the best suburbs in 2024? Let's get it. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Many of you are here because you've had your eye on OKC, but really that doesn't always mean Oklahoma City proper. A question that I often get is, Jonathan, what are the best areas of Oklahoma City and what are some areas I should generally stay away from? And I should be transparent with you, as a licensed realtor, I really can't get into telling you where you should or should not live in terms of our code of ethics. And also, I'm not your mom. Or am I?
Eat your vegetables!
Kidding, but what I can do is give you a proper rundown, what differentiates the OKC suburbs, which ones I personally love and why, as well as some pros and cons of each. And while I've done similar videos in the past, I wanted to update my efforts for those of you considering moving to Oklahoma City in 2024. And with that said, if you're thinking about moving to the Oklahoma City area, whether that's going to be in the next 3 weeks or 3 months from now, I would absolutely love the opportunity to help make a smooth move here to OKC. You're going to find my contact information in the description below, so please feel free to shoot me a call, a text, or an email, and I will certainly get back to you to help you buy that perfect home here in OKC. Now, let's get started. I put these top suburbs in order of personal preference, and some of them have changed since the last time that I did this. But it's not necessarily the order that you might put them in. Some of my pros may be cons for you, and vice versa. So here they are. What I love about Mustang is that it's one of the few suburbs that still does have that small town vibe. Driving down the main strip of Highway 152 and you'll swear you're in small town Oklahoma. But at the same time, it does offer that traditional suburban vibe as well. With a median home price of around $260,000, it is going to be a little higher than the OKC metro median price of around $250,000. But with around 21,000 residents, it feels like a developing area, but not quite enough to feel like it's lost its charm. There are also a ton of great parks in Mustang, and they've got some great schools there. In fact, niche.com gives them an A-. Now, another great thing about Mustang is that it is less than a 20-minute drive to the OKC airport and only about 25 minutes to downtown Oklahoma City. So while Mustang might be a little too small town vibey for me personally, I can certainly see its appeal, and for that reason, it's on my list at number 5 for 2024. What's great about Norman, Oklahoma? Well, the OU Sooners and the University of Oklahoma come to mind. A long tradition of having a vibrant music scene. Norman being its own self-sustaining city of nearly 130,000 residents is also a plus. In fact, Norman is actually the third largest city in the state of Oklahoma. Norman also has a ton of great city and state parks and also has great schools there, with niche.com rating the schools as an A-. The median home price is right around $265,000, putting it just over the metro median of $250,000. So, any cons? Well, some may say the game day traffic during football season can be pretty brutal around the university, and that's definitely true. But in all honesty, that's only like 6 days out of the year. For me personally, it doesn't end up near the top of my list simply because it feels a little less a part of OKC than the rest of the metro. And to some other people, that's a good thing. For me, I guess I'm just more of an Oklahoma City guy and the immediate surrounding areas. But Norman, you're still in my top 5 suburbs for 2024. What can I say about the Village? It's been my home for the last almost 20 years, and frankly, I just love the location. Located in the northwest quadrant of OKC and not far from the beautiful Lake Hefner, the Village for me is just one of the best locations in the city. With relatively quick access to Edmond just to the north and downtown Oklahoma City not far to the south, the Village is surrounded by tons of options for shopping and grocery stores, and honestly, I just don't have very many complaints. It's a small city of only around 10,000 residents, but being that it's entirely surrounded by Oklahoma City limits, it definitely doesn't have a small town feel. The median home price is comparatively low for our list at only around $215,000, but to be fair, there are a lot of much smaller homes located in the Village that make that possible. Niche.com school ratings are an A-, and otherwise, I'm trying to think of some cons, but personally, I can't come up with any. But I am a little biased, so take that for what it's worth. The Village, number 3 for 2024. Edmond, Oklahoma landed in the top spot on my last best suburbs list, but this year I've got it in the number 2 spot. Edmond definitely deserves to be near the top for a few reasons. For one, it has some of the absolute best public schools in the state of Oklahoma with niche.com rating an A+. And another thing that people love is that Edmond is its own self-sustaining city and very much has its own identity. With just under 100,000 residents, Edmond clocks in as the number 4th largest city in the state of Oklahoma. Now, to me, even as big as it is, Edmond feels more a part of OKC than Norman, as it is directly connected to the north. But don't tell Edmond folks I said that, because they definitely do not think of Edmond as part of Oklahoma City. Trust me on that one. But thankfully, if living there, you really don't have any reason to leave the city, as pretty much anything you're gonna need you can find right in Edmond. Parks, shopping, restaurants, recreation, even 2 universities. So what has me putting Edmond in my number 2 spot for 2024? For one, the traffic there kinda sucks if I'm being totally honest. Edmond seems to be rapidly growing, and it shows with the increasing number of cars on the road. But the main thing keeping Edmond from my number 1 spot, it's expensive. The median home price in Edmond is just over $350,000, putting it well over the metro median of $250,000. Now, for many people, that is totally worth it for all of the things that Edmond offers. It is, after all, one of the most asked about suburbs from people I speak to. But that does come at a cost, so Edmond is number 2 on my list for 2024. Yukon, Oklahoma is another great suburb located to the west of Oklahoma City, just north of Mustang. One of the things people love about Yukon is this tight-knit sense of community. With nearly 25,000 residents, it does still have a bit of a small-town feel, but you certainly get the sense that this city is growing. Much like Mustang, which is connected to the south, Yukon is a short 20-minute drive to the heart of OKC, and not much further to the OKC airport. While the schools aren't as top-rated as Edmond, they are rated a strong B+ by niche.com. And FYI, some of Yukon is actually located in Mustang Schools District, which again is rated as an A-. Yukon has all of the shopping, groceries, and accessibility to the rest of the metro that you would need. Additionally, Yukon has a ton of culture, food, and music festivals of their own. With a median home price of around $265,000, it is slightly over the metro median, but still significantly cheaper than that of Edmond. For that reason, I have had several clients choosing Yukon over Edmond this last year, and that is a big part of why Yukon landed as my number 1 suburb for 2024. There are definitely some popular and lesser known suburbs that didn't make my list today, but if you'd like to see a comprehensive breakdown of the OKC suburbs, I recommend you check out this video right here. And as always guys, until next time, I certainly hope to see you soon. See ya.